You are crying right now, not literally, but your eyes are doing it anyway. Right now, as you read this, your eyes are producing tears, tiny amounts, constant, invisible. You never notice them until they spill over, and when they do, something strange happens. You feel better. Nobody taught you that. No animal on Earth does what you just did. And scientists still cannot fully agree on why, but the answer, when you find it, changes something about how you see yourself. Let's start with what a tear actually is. Because most people have no idea, your eye produces 3 different kinds of tears. The first kind you already know about, basal tears. They coat your eye every second of every day. Without them, your cornea dries out and you go blind. You are not aware of them. You never will be. The second kind are reflex tears. Chop an onion, get dust in your eye, walk into cold wind. Your eye floods instantly. This is not emotion. This is chemistry. Your tear glands detect irritants and flush them out. Nearly every animal with eyes does this. Your dog cries when something gets in its eye. So does a hawk. So does a crocodile. That is where the phrase crocodile tears comes from. They are real. They just mean nothing. But the third kind. The third kind is the one that makes us strange. Emotional tears. Tears that come from feeling something. Grief, joy, rage, relief, awe. No other animal on Earth produces them. Not chimpanzees. Not elephants, not dogs. No matter what your dog's face tells you. Researchers have looked hard. The evidence doesn't exist. Emotional tears are uniquely, completely, exclusively human. And here is the first strange part. Emotional tears are chemically different from the other 2 kinds. They contain higher concentrations of stress hormones. Specifically prolactin, ACTH, and leucoenkephalin, which is a natural painkiller your brain produces. When you cry from emotion, you are literally expelling stress chemistry through your face. This is not a metaphor. Your body is physically removing the chemical signature of distress from your bloodstream, 1 tear at a time. This is why you feel better after crying. Not because of what it means symbolically, because of what it does chemically. Your ancestors didn't have words for this, but their bodies knew it anyway, so where did it come from? To answer that, you have to go back roughly 2 to 3 million years, to a version of you that lived in groups of 20 to 50 people on the African savannah, and understood exactly one thing about survival. Being alone meant dying. Early humans were not fast, not strong, not built for individual survival. No claws, no venom, no real speed. What they had was each other. The group was the weapon. The group was the shelter. The group was the only reason any individual survived long enough to pass anything on, which means getting separated from the group was not inconvenient. It was a death sentence. Now think about what a crying infant does. It cannot speak, it cannot walk, it cannot signal danger with words or gestures. But it can make a sound that is almost impossible to ignore. A sound that, in controlled studies, raises the heart rate of every adult who hears it. A sound that triggers an almost involuntary need to find the source and fix the problem. Crying is the oldest alarm system in human history, before language, before fire, before tools. There was the cry, and every adult nearby was hardwired to respond to it. But here is what most people never think about. Infants also cry with tears, and tears do something a sound alone cannot do. They make abandonment harder. A screaming face is easy to misread. A wet face is not. Tears are a visual signal that cannot be faked easily and cannot be ignored easily. They hold attention. They communicate something more than distress. They communicate need. Specifically, I need you, right now, don't leave. Some evolutionary biologists argue that tears are biological manipulation. Not in a cynical way, in the most fundamental way possible. They are a mechanism that makes other humans stay, and staying kept us alive, but it didn't stop with infants. Because here is where it gets stranger. Adults cry too, and adults crying served a completely different function in early human groups. When a member of the group was injured, grieving, or overwhelmed, visible crying did something critical. It communicated a state that words couldn't. It told the group, this person needs resources right now, this person needs protection, food, time to recover, and the group responded. In every hunter-gatherer society ever studied, researchers have found the same pattern. Visible distress triggers communal support, not always, not perfectly, but consistently enough to matter. Crying was social glue. It held groups together at the moments when they were most likely to fracture. This is why you still do it in front of people you trust, and almost never in front of strangers. Your body knows the difference. In safe company, crying is a request. In unsafe company, it is a vulnerability. That instinct is not weakness. It is 2 million years of social intelligence operating exactly as designed, but then something happened. Roughly 50,000 years ago, human social complexity exploded. Groups grew, language deepened. Culture layered on top of biology, and crying began to absorb meaning beyond survival. Grief became ritual, ritual became ceremony, ceremony became the glue of civilization. Tears at funerals. Tears at births, tears when a warrior came home, tears that told a group, this moment matters, remember it. Anthropologists call this emotional marking. The body flags certain experiences as significant by responding to them physically. Tears are one of the most powerful emotional markers humans have. When you cry at something, your brain encodes it differently, more deeply, more completely. You are more likely to remember it, more likely to return to it, more likely to share it. This is why music makes you cry, why a film can break you open when nothing else can, why you can cry at a stranger's funeral for someone you never met. It is not weakness. It is your brain doing what it was built to do, marking the moment as worth keeping. And here is the part that almost nobody talks about: men cry less than women. This is true across almost every culture studied, and for decades the explanation given was cultural. Boys are told not to cry, men suppress emotion, social conditioning, all of that is real. But there is a biological layer underneath it. Prolactin, the hormone found in elevated levels in emotional tears, is also the hormone regulated by estrogen. Women have significantly higher baseline prolactin levels than men. This means women have a lower physiological threshold for emotional tears. It is not that men feel less. It is that the biological trigger point is set differently. Culture pushed in one direction, biology was already partway there. Both are true simultaneously, and this changes something. Because if you have ever felt ashamed of crying, if someone once told you it was weak or unnecessary or too much, here is what they did not know. They were asking you to override a system that took 3 million years to build, a system that kept your ancestors alive by binding them to each other. A system that expels stress chemistry, signals need, marks memory, and holds groups together at the moment they most want to fall apart. That is what a tear is, not weakness, not performance. A 3 million-year-old message that says, I am still here, I still need you, don't go. Tonight, when something finally breaks through and your eyes fill up, you will not be losing control. You will be doing the most human thing any creature has ever done. You will be reaching out, without words, the way your ancestors did, the way every human before you did. In the only language that never needed to be learned.